teachings in the Vaishnavas about ras. It's about tasting nectar. So there's a nectar in family life, and tasting the nectar of having children and cute little babies and stuff. So cute and nice. Uh, and having a relationship with a husband and wife is that there's a nectar there, and it's actually intoxicating. You get intoxicated by this, and this is the world. This is where we're what we're doing now. Krishna consciousness and what Lord Chaitanya came to bring is a new kind of intoxication. We get intoxicated by the nectar of the name, and that we start to wake up and help wake other people up to what is really worthy of being intoxicated. Because if you get intoxicated by the family life and all this stuff, which is just natural, it's easy. You just hang out here and you got, a beautiful woman comes by, a beautiful man, and you get attracted, and if you're young and you got a good body and everything, you just kind of click, and then you get together, you have babies and all. It's just so easy. It just gets a little harder when you get older and you get not so attractive anymore. See, that's the easy stuff. See, so sadhana and practice is you get practice chanting and getting learning how to get intoxicated by the holy names and fame and pastimes of the Lord, and go that route. So, and then we start to become detached through becoming attached to what's eternal and transcendental. See, no artificial thing here. You just keep coming and keep chanting and keep, becoming more like addicted to God. And then everything becomes adjusted properly. So, in this way, so when they heard the chanting of the holy names, these people made jokes. One of them said, "These people only want to fill their bellies." So that's how it is. If we go down the street and chant Hare Krishna, there'll be a lot of people that will laugh or think it's weird and everything. They'll think it's crazy. Why? Because people are intoxicated with the material potency in this world, and it actually makes them crazy. It's actually, we come out of our natural inclinations of the soul, which is to worship God with great ecstasy and great love. That's what we're made for, really. And then if you see a devotee, crying for God and chanting God's name with love, and shaking and all of this, you think it's weird. So that's kind of what we're dealing with in this world. Even if you're a Christian or a Vaishnava, and you haven't developed this really deep taste and intimacy with God, then you will think your brothers and sisters are crazy. Right, Arjay? Don't you have the people that think you're a little crazy for tasting this nectar, They think, well, this is odd now. Well, anyway. This is related to the statement where Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, "Fools deride me when I descend in my human form." Just naturally, everybody, we're all foolish by tasting this worldly stuff, So it's made us foolish. And if you think, "Oh, I'm not a fool," well, that's the false ego, they call it. Because even the devotees who taste the nectar, they take great happiness in feeling themselves, "Lord, I'm just a foolish person. Please save me. Please give me your love. I'm just very, 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 very foolish." One is greatly happy to be in that mood because one's love develops there. But if you think, "Oh, I'm not a fool," remember that, Sachi, when you said that 19 years ago?
Yeah, but now I'm thinking, well, maybe I am a fool, but I really like my ice cream.
Yeah, that's good, man. I also like ice cream. See, gradually. But you know what? You can't. It's not like a artificial renunciation. It's like when you taste ice cream on the tongue, right? It tastes good. What, is it going to taste different to an awakened, enlightened person? We all have bodies, man. If it tastes good to a mundane person, it tastes good to a enlightened, awakened person. Why? Because we both have the same bodies. People don't have any idea. They think when a person tastes something that who has realized God, they're going to taste it on their tongue and they're going, I hate this. Bleh. Come on, man. Prabhupada, he didn't like to eat stuff that was like medicinal. He said this is like for horses. He liked to taste good prasad, tasty prasad. Even Lord Chaitanya himself. People don't know. You can't speculate what you think an enlightened person is, but it's all over the scriptures. They also taste, and when it tastes good, it tastes good, but they know the Lord. See, they know how the Lord tastes. And there's nothing that can replace the Lord in his transcendental form and happiness and ecstasy. There's nothing that can replace the taste of God. See? So you become addicted to that, and then you just kind of like the other thing. It's just like, well, it's part of life, you just do it to keep the body going, and it's not a big deal. You don't make it like you don't sit there and plan your meals. Well, I'm going to have this for dinner, and this, people do that. They think they make a goal out of what they're going to eat. And that's rightly so, because that's the material. That's what you do as in material life. You're just kind of thinking about what you see. But devotees, they don't think about these things. They just just if it's there, they eat it. And it's good. If it tastes good, it tastes good. So what? See, so it's kind of like that, more like that. So another, yeah. See, so when they heard the chanting the holy names, these people made jokes. Right? They're intoxicated by the nectar of the world. One of them said, these people only want to fill their bellies. Another said, these people turn away from the philosophy of Gyan Yoga and spend their time dancing around. Why do they do that? See, so they don't understand. See, Gyan Yoga, they want to develop speculative knowledge, or any yoga other than Bhakti Yoga. Philosophy, it's all speculation. It doesn't satisfy the soul deeply. See? But they want to, chanting and dancing and chanting the names of God. When you had a taste for that, that's all, you think, boy, all I have to do, that's devotional service. It's just you chant and surrender your life and your heart and your mind to God and just become ecstatic in that. The Lord, he just brings you into himself, into this union with him, and he's ecstatic. You become ecstatic. He enjoys you and you enjoy him. You're in trance with his qualities. He's in trance with your qualities, that you've gotten because of your union with him. Now that's enjoying life. That's the way they really enjoy life. Like that. We strive for that kind of perfection here. People are striving for so many other things. What? What?
But on the other hand...
I don't like but. Go ahead.
No, and
Okay.
when you called me a fool, I stormed out of the room, ran downstairs and cried for a while, and then once I stopped crying, I had so much bliss, because the story had actually started out with you saying that Krishna liked being called a fool. And I was like, how could somebody like being called a fool? And so you kind of sort of explained it, and then you said, you fool. And I was like, stormed out of there.
It triggered her false ego.
But I got so much bliss afterwards.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how actually it is. When That's why the preaching, it's like I just read, people were laughing at the chanting. They thought it was foolish, but they were getting purified just by hearing it. See, and eventually they get blissful. Just it drives out the ignorance in the heart, and it comes out like that. And then they become liberated. See? So that's why the devotees chant, and then they don't think it's a bad thing. It's actually good. This boy always studies the Vaishnava scriptures. I only talk of logic and astronomy. I never talk about Krishna, and that is why he runs away. See, now that's intelligence. If you study the Vaishnava scriptures, they're full of mantras of glorification of God. That quickly awakens love in the heart for the Lord. The Lord is so pleased to awaken when one is in touch with those scriptures that glorify the truth. See? That's why the scriptures that glorify Jesus as the truth, it awakens this devotion and love in the heart. Or glorifies Krishna, glorifies Lord Chaitanya, glorifies his devotees, any scripture like that. That's devotional service, and that is the most important education we can get. We could be fools here in the world, not study any material thing, and be poor as anything. But if we chant the holy names and study the Vaishnava scriptures, which are basically names glorifying the Lord and his devotees, that's really it. See, that's then your life will be successful, more so than anybody not doing these things. So the Lord says, I never talk about Krishna. That is why he runs away when he sees me. The Lord pretended to mock Mukunda, although in truth he was pleased with him. The Lord said, O little boy, how many days will you pass like this? Where will you run? Will you always go this way and that way to escape me? The Lord laughed and said, after some days you will see on me the marks of a Vaishnava. Oh, I already read this. Okay. So in this way, Lord Vishwambara enjoyed pastimes. If he does not reveal the truth, who has the power to understand them? So this is why devotees preach. Actually, they're basically glorifying the Lord publicly, because there are some people that are meant to hear and to awaken. When they hear this, when they're in touch with a devotee and in touch with a devotee glorifying the Lord, then they awaken. This is why Prabhupada actually said there's a Vaishnava in every street corner. You can just go out there and just talk about God and preach and all this, and someone will connect because they're waiting for this to awaken. Yeah. Yeah, you know what? Do you want to read a little bit, Sachi? I have to stop because I just did a whole long thing before this too. The body has to stop a little bit here. I don't hear you, but yeah, was that a yes or?
Yeah, I can read.
Yeah, read read some. Well, yeah, you choose whatever you want to read.
Well, you tell me what you were going to say.
Okay, how about that Advaita Prakash?
Okay. See, is it out there?
No, it's on your table or on your desk.
Reading from Advaita Prakash. Maybe this is just for Arjai because Facebook Live can't see this stuff.
Yeah, just for here.
Pick up where another time I was. After Mother Sita finished her bath in the Ganges, she returned home and thought about offering the bananas to Gora. Okay, let's see. Let's start at the beginning of that story. It says, listen to this wonderful story. One day, the Universal Mother Sita Devi, whose life is dedicated to the service of Gora, set aside for Gora some of his favorite kanpa bananas. When she went to take bath in the Ganges, Krishna Mishra, that's one of her sons, saw that the house was empty, and he began looking for something to eat. While searching, he saw those bananas. That eternal servant of Krishna then considered to himself, well, Mother desires to feed these bananas to Gauranga. If I eat them, it will be an offense. Then again he thought, but I can eat them after they are offered, and then they will be Gauranga's prasad, so there will be no offense. He first chanted the mantra Om, and then he offered the bananas to Gora by chanting Gauraya Nama. Considering the bananas to be Mahaprasad, he set them to his head. He touched them to his head, and then joyfully ate them. After Mother Sita finished her bath in the Ganges, she returned home and thought about offering the bananas to Gora, but when she saw the bananas were not where she had kept them, she felt sorry and understood that one of her sons must have eaten them. Her first thought was she called Achyutananda, I think of her first son, maybe, and inquired, I had kept some bananas for Gora. Who has eaten them? Achyutananda replied, Mother, you know everything. You know my mind and behavior. Once, due to my childish frivolity, I drank some milk that was meant for Gora. You chastised me then, and I learned my lesson. How can a fallen soul like me describe the glories of Achyutananda, who is non-different from Sri Krishna Chaitanya? In the mood of Gora, he drank that milk that was meant for Gora, and as a result, his mother slapped him. Everyone was struck with wonder when they saw the slap mark on Gora's body. The Supreme Lord's eternal associates and devotional service both possess inconceivable potency. You know, I read this before. Everyone was struck with wonder when they saw the slap mark on Gora's body. In our world today, you see something like that on a child's body, and it's cause for calling child protective services and abuse and all this kind of stuff. But in the spiritual world, it's different. Everything has a pure intention in the spiritual world. So it's just interesting to read that and see that everyone was struck with wonder when they saw the mark. The Supreme Lord's eternal associates in devotional service both possess inconceivable potency. The scriptures state that devotional service and devotees are non-different from Krishna. Sita then called Krishna Das and asked him, who ate the bananas that were meant for Gora? Krishna Mishra replied, Mother, What's wrong? I offered them to Gora before I ate them. On hearing this, Mother Sita slightly smiled and then began to chase the boy with a stick. Krishna Mishra ran in fear to his father, Advaita, who saw Sita chasing the boy, and he said, "Don't beat him. Let me hear what happened." Being checked by Advaita, Sita restrained herself. Advaita asked, "What has Krishna Mishra done wrong?" Krishna Mishra gently replied, "Mother set aside some bananas for Gora, and so after I offered them to Gora, I knew there was nothing wrong in eating them." Advaita Prabhu inquired, "What mantra did you use to offer them with then?" The child replied, "Om Goraya Nama." Advaita said, "Instead of Goraya, it's proper to chant Krishnaya, Om Krishnaya Nama." The child replied, "Krishna's name is included in the name of Gora." Advaita was amazed to hear the child's reply, and he kissed the boy's face in ecstatic love. Sita Devi was fascinated to hear the child's conclusion, and considered her son to be most glorious. Then, as everyone was called for taking a meal, Gora said, "I've already eaten." Advaita Prabhu inquired, "Where have you eaten?" Gora replied, "While I was sleeping, someone fed me bananas." Saying this, Gora belched, and everyone was amazed to smell the fragrance of bananas. Advaita thought, "Krishna is controlled by his devotees, therefore Gora surely ate the bananas that Krishna Mishra offered. I am most fortunate. I am most fortunate to have such a son whose glories can sanctify the entire world." As Advaita Prabhu thought in this way, his heart was saturated with loving affection, and tears flowed incessantly from his eyes. Grabbing a pillow. Sita became overwhelmed with loving ecstasy on hearing what had happened. She thought, "There is no limit to my son's good fortune. I am certainly fortunate to be the mother of such a precious child, who is a pure devotee of Krishna." Then one day a Brahmana boy came before Advaita Acharya and offered obeisances at his feet. Sri Advaita asked him, "Whose son are you? Please tell me what brought you here." The son of a Brahmana said, "I am your loving servant. I am known as Lokanath Chakravarti. I am the son of Padmanabha Chakravarti, who is well known in Yashohara as the object of your mercy." I am the son of Padmanabha Chakravarti, who is well known in Yashohara as the object of your mercy. Advaita Prabhu embraced him and said, "Now I recognize you." Lokanath said, "You have purified me." Then Advaita said, "How is everyone in your house?" Lokanath answered, "Everyone's fine by your mercy." Advaita Prabhu asked, "Why have you come so far all alone?" Lokanath replied, "I came to study from you." Advaita said, "That is nice. Stay here and study as you desire." Lokanath said, My father wants me to study the nectarian pastimes of Krishna from the Srimad Bhagavatam. Advaita Prabhu said, your father is absorbed in devotional service and always eager to relish the nectar of Srimad Bhagavatam. Thereafter, Lokanath began to study Srimad Bhagavatam and its commentary with Gadadhar Pandit. As Sri Gaurachandra heard the two recite Srimad Bhagavatam, he felt great ecstasy and remembered the meaning of those verses. One day, Sitanath thought to himself that it was an auspicious day to perform the rice-giving ceremony for Gopal. Listen now to the wonderful pastime that took place that day. According to custom, different items were put in front of the child, but Sri Gopal did not touch any of those items. He touched the lotus feet of Sri Gauranga. Seeing this, my Prabhu was overwhelmed in love and said, this child will be the crown jewel amongst devotees. This child will be the crown jewel amongst devotees. The feet of the Brahmanas are almost equal to the feet of Vishnu, because the Brahmanas' feet are the abode of all holy places. While glorifying the Brahmanas in various ways, Sri Advaita revealed Lord Gauranga's actual position. As a result, the devotees present there all became blissful and began chanting the holy name of the Lord. Advaita Prabhu, Haridas, Achutananda, and Krishnadas all began to dance. Seeing Krishna Mishra's dancing, Mahaprabhu smiled, and then the devotees induced Gauranga to also dance. The devotees held daily festivals, and their ecstasy increased day by day. In the next 1 year, Gaura gradually completed his study of the Vedas and the Bhagavatam. Seeing this, the scholars were wonderstruck, and Advaita told them, Gaura has divine qualities. Gadadhar Pandit's glories are inconceivable and beyond the description of even Lord Brahma. His knowledge of the Srimad Bhagavatam is wonderful. Advaita Prabhu has said that Gadadhar is the personified internal energy of Krishna. By the wonderful association of Sri Gauranga, Lokanath became a great authority on the Srimad Bhagavatam. As Lokanath listened to the explanation on the verses, tears of ecstasy flowed from his eyes, and everyone noted how he received the mercy of Lord Krishna. One day, Lokanath said to Advaita Acharya, please tell me, how can I attain Krishna? Advaita Prabhu said, chant the Hare Krishna mantra and you will quickly attain Krishna. I think maybe it's time to end. I'm weary.
Okay. Let's end. All right.
RJ, you say you'll be driving a truck this afternoon?
Yeah, I'll be heading back to Delaware.
Oh,
Delaware, all right. Delaware.
at least somebody's aware.
You have fun driving that truck out there?
Oh, sometimes it can be a real blast, but it's my duty. Smile on my face.
Very good.
Oh,
You get enough exercise out there, for Sitting around? Or?
No, not a lot of exercise, but I usually go for a walk every day, about probably half a mile.
Yeah, good.
You know what would be good is if you had a bicycle.
Bicycle, yeah.
Yeah. Can't
Put it
you
on
put
the
one in the trucks? I bet you can, somewhere. So you can get out and go a little further.
No, God. I'll stick with my walking.
Yeah. Make sure you get a half mile's not enough. Try to increase it to a mile.
Yeah. I go until I'm tired.
Yeah, okay. Oh, okay. All right, man. So thanks for coming. I'll see you later, huh?
Well, may Krishna bless
All
you. Make
right.
a nice trip. Okay?